Hello and welcome back to Under Review. For our first episode of the 2024 and 2025 basketball season, we will be reviewing the Huskies' recent 89-49 preseason exhibition win against Fort Hays State. After a slow first quarter, the Huskies came out swinging and mixed up their lineup to find a rhythm and build their lead. What lineup do you think worked the best and why?
As you said, the game picks up after that first quarter, and I think the second quarter lineup with Paige Beckers, Ashlyn Shade, Allie Zabel, Sarah Strong, and Caitlin Chen was one of the best. We saw a perfect mix of new and old, and it showed how balanced this year's roster really is. Beckers is a powerhouse for the team, and she was complemented very well by Shade. Strong, Zabel, and Chen also showed exactly why they belong with the Huskies this season. This lineup put up scores and set the tone for the rest of the game. They went from 15 points at the end of the first to 42 by the half.
Caitlin Chen, our grad transfer from Princeton, had a fantastic performance in her first game as a Husky, racking up 14 points and a team-high 5 assists. Additionally, Paige Beckers was on fire with a game-high 27 points with 12 and 14 shooting, flirted with a double-double with 9 rebounds, and added 2 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal in only 27 minutes of playing time. Additionally, 3 other Huskies finished with double digits, with Sarah Strong tallying up 11 points in her first game as a Husky. Cadence Samuels netted in 12, and Ashlyn Shade finished with 15. The Huskies seem to have a lot of weapons on offense with these numbers. How promising is this, given that several players are still out with injury, and 2 of these high-scoring players are new?
It is extremely promising. UConn showed last year how resilient they are when it comes to injuries, so to see that key players are once again out with injuries and that new players are able to carry a game in their place shows exactly why the Huskies come out on top. The versatile mindset that the Huskies have is a big asset that can set them up for success this season. Having 2 new players putting up high scores shows that the Huskies have the potential to be a powerhouse during the regular season.
The Huskies still have several players out with injury ahead of the preseason, a story we know all too well. AZ Fudd is still out recovering from her ACL injury, along with Aubrey Griffin. Morgan Shelley sat out with a hamstring injury. KK Arnold is still nursing an ankle injury she sustained a couple weeks ago. Caroline Ducharme is still out with a lingering head and neck injury, and Ayanna Patterson is recovering from a shoulder injury. Although all players are expected to be back for the season soon, how do you think their return will affect the starting lineup as well as the rotation for the rest of the season?
I think some of those key players that are out on injury, like AZ Fudd, are going to see a lot of playing time once they come back. However, I think that Gino might benefit from switching up the lineup so that the new players can showcase their strengths. Some of the new additions, like Sarah Strong, have a high potential to be kept in the starting lineup, especially as one of the most anticipated new players to the team. Overall, though, I would say it's a tough call to make, as the Huskies have shown a very promising roster this season with both new and returning players.
That's all for this week's episode of Under Review. Be sure to tune in next week where we'll be reviewing the Huskies' first official games of the season against Boston University and South Florida. Until then, I'm Bree Carroll.
And I'm Josalyn Munson. Thanks for watching.